Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the YouTube world, CJ Rose is back in the building. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to 2K Rivals Magic and Bird Era. Here we are, 1989. This is, I believe, this should be our sixth season. And so far, I ain't gonna lie to you, it's pretty hard out in the 80s. In the 80s, it's pretty hard. Scoring is a little bit low for some of us. The shooting definitely matters. As you can see, they ain't do a lot of shooting these days, so it's kind of far in between when it comes to that. But here we are. We're actually coming off the Houston Rockets winning the NBA title, which means No, I'm sorry, the Miami Heat, who were just the expansion team, who were just an expansion team just last season, went into went into the season as literally one of the greatest teams ever at 70-12, went to the finals and won a championship. The first season you are a team, you win a title, and Jay Blocks was Finals MVP. So Jay Blocks is the first person out of all of us to become a champion and Finals MVP. That's big. That means Jay is having the best season out of all of us so far. But it is the 80s. So, I mean, it may not be the same once we hit the 90s, once we hit the Jordan era, and then the Kobe era, and of course, modern era. We'll see how all that goes. But right now, here we are. So, let's see. Anybody retire? World Be Free calls it a career. Skywalker, David Thompson calls it a career. Gerald Henderson calls it a career. That's really about it. No, I don't really care about staff retirements. You know I don't. All right, we're here at Historic Changes. As the Orlando Magic and the Minnesota Timberwolves are the next expansion teams to come on the scene. And the Miami Heat get their floor changed, as well as the Charlotte Hornets. The Lakers get a floor change, and the Knicks get a logo, uniform, and a floor change, as well as the San Antonio Spurs. All right. So league meetings get two more expansion teams. Can't even say expansions. Jesus. All right, so let's see. So it's the Magic and the Timberwolves. So, okay, got the Timberwolves right there. And that should be, where's the Magic right there. All right, cool. So we good. So we good over there. All right, so draft lottery. We once again have good odds because we were once again the worst team in the league. So let's see who gets the first draft pick. And it's the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns gets the first overall pick. Cavs come in second. Pacers come in third. Timberwolves, Magic, and the Bullets come later. You know, it's funny. The Bullets have been the worst team in the league probably the last 4 to 5 seasons, and they never got the first overall pick. I find that to be so crazy. That is wild. All right, so now, before we get to the draft, let's get to the expansion draft. So let's see who the Magic pick up. They pick up Larry Nance as the first pick. Kevin Johnson comes second. Horace Grant is third. Pekovic, Chris Morris, Dan Marley, Vernon Maxwell. That's it for that. All right, free agency. Let's see if we got some free agents on the block. Yes, we do. Larry Legend is a free agent, as well as Patrick Ewing. He is a restricted free agent, as well as Karl Malone, as well as Chris Mullin, as well as Charles Oakley, as well as Joe Dumars. And look who else is on the block. Me, I'm on the block because I need to move. As well as Shadow. Shadow is a free agent as well. Oh, and Max Money is a free agent as well. So we got a couple free agents. Oh, Cash is moved. Cash finally says it's time to move. I don't blame you, big dog. All right. So let's see. Um. Okay, so everybody that I wanted moved. All right, so let's see. Let's see everybody. Yeah, so Larry Bird re-signs with the Celtics for four years. Patrick Ewing, of course, re-signs. That makes sense. Mullen, Malone, and Oakley re-signed. That's cool. I'm going to Cleveland. I'm going to Cleveland. Yes, I believe the Cleveland Cavaliers also got the second overall pick, so that's actually interesting. Somebody might be coming with me. Sounds good. Max signs with the Clippers. If I'm not mistaken, I think is the Don over there? Cause I think Ghost moved, but Max is on the move. He's going to the Clippers. Cash is going to the Magic. So Cash is going to one of the new expansion teams. He's going to Orlando. Oh, Shadow is still available. I thought Shadow got signed. Okay, now he's got 8 offers. He had one at first. I think Shadow is holding out. He wants 2 mil. Now he wants more. Now he wants less. I'm seeing that number go up and down. Okay, now he wants super less. Now he wants 1.9 when he wanted 2 mil to begin with. Okay, I don't know if he signed anywhere, but I guess we'll see. Oh, I skipped the draft? I did skip the draft. Shit, my fault. So Tim Hardaway was the first overall pick. Then came Glenn Rice, so I got Glenn Rice with me in Cleveland. Cool. Sean Kemp went to the Pacers. Vlade Divac to the Magic, so he's gonna actually be with Rich. Sounds good. Danny Ferry going to the Spurs. Sean Elliott going to the Hawks. B.J. Armstrong going to the Pistons. Stacey King to the Rockets. Dino to the Nuggets. Nick Anderson to the Kings. Cliff Robinson to the Jazz. Yeah, that's about it over there. All right, let's look at player progression as I was doing previously. Hakeem's going down a little bit at 26 years old, but David Robinson is now a 91 overall. The Twin Towers are still there for maybe one more season. Only time will tell. I'm still at 83 overall. Cliff Robinson's going down a little bit, but I do have Glenn Rice, so hopefully it's some positives. And I reunite with my center, who's 30 and is regressing. That's good to know. Boston still got their big three, even though Robert Parrish is 35 and regressing very slowly. Mark Jackson's 94 overall, so that's a promise. Oh, I knew there was two people here. So Ao, Max, and Rye are all on the same team. That's scary. That's scary. You got four 80 plus overalls on the same team. That's scary. That's a team you gotta look out for. That is a team you gotta look out for. This is Ryan's last year on his contract too, so we'll see how that goes. You got the Atlanta Hawks when Londo Blackman's by himself now because Shadow went somewhere. Hopefully he got signed somewhere. Kenny's now at 82. Kenny Jeff Smith's at 82 overall. Adrian Danley, 33 years old, regressing. Chris Mullin, 87 overall. Xavier McDaniels is regressing at 26. I believe he signed here, didn't he? Or my bugging. Yeah, he did. He signed. He came from Chicago. He signed 1 year over there. Cool. You got the Knicks. Bernard King's now 32 years old, regressing. But I like the little lineup that they got here in New York, so they actually should be okay for a cool bit. The almighty Lakers are not what they are. Jim Paxson signed over here, and now Kareem is regressing a little bit now. Rose, now the best player on the team. He's got Mark Aguirre, he's got Ralph Sampson, Dale Ellis, and Ron Harper. So they got a little sum here in Dallas. So they actually still may be good for what it's worth. Shadow signed to the Nets. He's with Buck Williams. See if he can make some noise in Jersey. You got the Denver Nuggets. George Gervin is 34 years old. He's regressing. And now James Worthy's regressing. A couple other people are regressing. Ugh. John Stockton still 89 overall. He's got Sean Kemp. He's got a lob threat. He had a lob threat in real life at Karl Malone. He's got another lob threat with Sean Kemp. We'll see how that goes. You got Bill Laimbeer now regressing. Joe Dumars regressing a little bit. Let's see. You got the Rockets. Michael Jordan by himself as a 93 overall. Yeah, by himself. Mitch Richmond, Mark Price, and Danny Ferry on the Spurs. Mitch Richmond now 84 overall. He's the best player on the team. The Phoenix Suns, Dominique Wilkins and Ghost, the dynamic duo who got Reggie Lewis, and they also now got Tim Hardaway, who probably will be the starting point guard, the first overall pick. So look out for Phoenix. They might make some noise. Patrick Ewing with a brand new 5-year contract back in Seattle with Chuck Persons, Gus Williams, who's 35 years old and regressing. Kenny Skywalker, now 81 overall. Oh, Derek Hall. I thought that was Dave Coleman. I'm like, wait, hold up, what? Clyde Drexler by himself. Well, not really. He got Fat Larry. He's got Danny Manning, Kevin Willis, Manute Bolt, Herb Williams. Got a couple good names over here in Portland. Portland may make some noise again. Scottie Pippen's now at 89 overall. He's the best player on the team now. Let's see what he can do. The defending NBA champions, the Miami Heat. Jack Sigma's now here, so now we got two damn near 7-footers. Otis Thorne, Gerald Wilkins, Muggsy Bogues, J.J. Miller, Rod Strickland. Oh yeah, look out for this team. They're looking to repeat. And let's not forget about the Charlotte Hornets, where Isaiah Thomas running it things. They got a 35-year-old Alice English, Clark Kellogg, Scott Skiles. And this is the Orlando Magics with Jay Humphries, who was, if I'm not mistaken, the MVP. No, he was an all-star, a first-team All-NBA, and 2-time Six-Man of the Year. He will be there. He will be the leader of this team. You got Larry Nance. And, of course, you got Cash. Cash is here. Signed a 3-year. You got Reggie Theus. You got Peflovich. You got Dan Marley. Team might make some noise. Let's not be so. I'm not surprised. I won't be surprised if they make it to the playoffs themselves. And, of course, the other expansion team, the Minnesota Timberwolves. You got Kelly Tripucka. You got Kevin Johnson. You got Byron Scott. You got Horace Grant. Chris Morris. Was it Purvis Ellison? Earl Paxton. Don't be surprised. That's all I'm telling you. Moses Malone, 34 years old, now 89 overall. Julius Erving, now 88. Maurice Cheeks at 81. Philly is not looking good. Milwaukee, Brad Daugherty is now the best player on the team. Meanwhile, Sidney Moncrief, 31 years old, he's going to start to regress at some point. Yeah, that's pretty much what we're walking into this season. So here's the 1990 draft. I believe this is the last year, and then we just move on to the Jordan era from there, right? I think that's how it works. I'm not even sure. But let's take a look. A couple people made some moves, and I didn't even get to look at everybody's team last year, so let's actually see how everybody's looking. Of course, with the new expansion teams, should be a different feeling. All right, so we got Philly. Philly still got their big three. They also got A former Defense Player of the Year, Mark Eaton. Well, how old is Mark Eaton this time? He's 32. He's old himself. Eh, we'll see how Philly does. Got the Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee Bucks are the Bucks. The Bullets, who look horrible. Oh my God, they look horrible. Oh my God, this team is garbage. Woo! You have 180 overall, 170 overall. After that, the rest are 60s. That team's done. You got Chicago, the Twin Towers. That's enough to get this team moving because they don't got no 80 overalls after that, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. You got my new home, Cleveland. I actually will be the starting shooting guard. Okay, I got Glenn Rice with me, so he will be on the wings with me. With Danny Ainge on the bench, I see. I don't know how we're going to do, but I'm optimistic. The Celtics may return back to championship form. It's a possibility. We will see how they do this season. The Clippers got a big three. I don't know why Rye is on the bench for Ricky Pierce, who's 30 years old, but I mean, maybe that'll change during the season. They got a 72 overall as their power forward, but this team still is dangerous. Got to look out for them. Got the Atlanta Hawks, Kenny the Jet Smith, Rolando Blackman, Sean Elliott, Tom Chambers, Bill Cartwright. It's actually a pretty okay lineup for all things considered. Larry Drew, six-man. Hawks may do something. You got the Jazz. You can never sleep on the Jazz. Jazz some way, somehow always get into the playoffs. So it's not be surprised if they get into the playoffs this year again. You got the Kings. Chris Mullin leading the helm with Xavier McDaniel and Spud Webb. Got them New York Knicks. As I said, they had a pretty good six. Got pretty good six. Their top six players are pretty good. The rest of the team needs a lot of help, but I mean, it is what it is. You still got Magic and Kareem to deal with, so it's not easy to do, but the Lakers will probably be back in the playoffs this season. But I would look out for this team. Rose and Mark Aguirre with Dale Ellis and Ralph Sampson. I'm just saying, just a team you really got to look out for. You got the Nets with Shadow. Shadow is here with Buck Williams. Let's see if what these two can do together. You got the Nuggets, who are looking pretty good themselves. You got George Gervin, you got Kiki, and of course you got Big Game James. Don't sleep on these teams. John Stockton really by himself with Rex Chapman. He does have Sean Kemp, and Sean Kemp will develop into a star. So just know that you got to be patient with the Pacers. You got the Pistons, who just had Bill Laimbeer and Joe Dumars with B.J. Armstrong. Not much really going on with the Pistons right now. Michael Jordan's by himself, really, with Craig Elo off the bench. That's about it. The San Antonio Spurs got Mark Price. They got Danny Ferry and Mitch Richmond. It's about all, really, you can say. The Suns, with their dynamic duo of Dominique Wilkins and Ghost, they got Reggie Lewis and Tim Hardaway as the backcourt. I think the Suns are going to be looking to make some damage happen. Another team that may do some damage are the Seattle Supersonics. You do have Patrick Ewing, who came back on a 5-year deal. You got Kenny Skywalker. You got Chuck Persons. You got Gus Williams. Only time will tell. See what's up with that. The Trailblazers. I said this team may do something. You got Manute Bolt. You got Kevin Willis. You got Danny Manning. You got Fat Larry. Of course, you got Clyde the Glide. I'm saying the Warriors now have Scottie Pippen as their best player. Scottie Pippen may do some damage this year, but they have a 69 overall point guard, so I don't know how much damage they will be able to do. The Miami Heat, the defending NBA champions, they are looking to repeat, and they damn near may do that. Look out for them. Got the Charlotte Hornets. Isaiah Thomas, Alex English, Clark Kellogg. You already know. One of the new expansion teams for the season. Jay Humphries, Reggie Theus, Larry Nance, and Cash with Peklovich off the bench, and Dan Marley, and Vladi Divac, who just got drafted. You saw what happened last season with the Heat. The Magic could do the same thing. Same thing with this team. The Timberwolves can do the exact same thing. You got Kevin Johnson, you got Byron Scott, Kelly Trapuka, you got Horace Grant, and Purvis Ellison, Chris Morris. I don't know, man. I don't know. But let's get the season started. Let me control my team, the Cleveland Cavaliers. All right. Season. Let's start. Let's do it. And already we were on a losing streak. Already. Oh, I did not. Oh, sheesh. Hold on. I didn't even. That reminded me. I didn't even look at who's coming in this draft. And I saw one name that is impressive. I saw the glove. Gary Payton will be part of this draft class along with Derek Coleman, Muhammad Abdul Rauf. You got 3D Dennis Scott. You got Kendall Gill, Cedric Chabolis, Tyron Hill. You got D. Brown is going to be in there as well. Tony Kukoc, he'll be there as well. Eldon Campbell, I know that name. Greg Foster, I know that name. Antonio Davis, I know that name. Not the Jason Williams I know. Ain't the Jason Williams I know. All right, let's continue. Let's continue on with the season. Glenn Rice has a broken left ankle. That's just great. We lost to the Heat 3 times, by the way. So I'm once again on a really bad team, which is just to be expected. Let me see who the All Stars are this season. We got John Stockton, Sidney Moncrief, Larry Bird, Karl Malone, and David Robinson. Joe Dumars, Doc Rivers, Akeem Olajuwon, Julius Erving, Jeff Rubin, Moses Malone, and Jay Humphries. On the West, you got Magic, Isaiah, Worthy, Aguirre, and Wilkins. They don't even have a center. They don't even have a starting center. That's crazy. MJ, Clyde, Kareem, Pat Ewing, Scottie Pippen, Ghost, and Rose. So Ghost and Rose make all-star appearances. This is now his third all-star appearance for Ghost, and this is Rose's sixth all-star appearance in a row. Boy, that man been an all-star since he stepped into the league. Let's really be real. Oh man. If he ain't doing this much damage now, trust and believe the next couple of eras he will be dangerous, I promise you. All right, so now we made it to the half of the second half of the season. Let's see how the first half went. As the best team in the league, best team in the East happened to be the defending champions, the Miami Heat. I told you there's a possibility they could repeat, and it's looking like they might do just that. With blocks coming in, dropping 16 and 9, 3 assists, 50 and 66. His numbers went down. I guess he's probably sharing with somebody. Otis only dropping 5, 13. JJ Miller's dropping 20 a game. That's why. That's why. Okay. Coming at number 2 are the Twin Towers, the Chicago Bulls. You got Dave Robinson, 23 and 12. Hakeem, 23 and 12. Boy, boy, boy. Coming in number 3 are the New York Knicks. Bernard King still kicking with 21 a game. The Mailman, 26 and 12. 26, 12 and 8. Crazy. Del Curry dropping 17 a game. And Doc Rivers, 11 and 9. Crazy. Coming in number 4, I said they get back to the form, and they have. The Boston Celtics, Larry Legend. Oh, Larry Legend's in rare form. making averaging the most points he's averaged since the 86-87 season, 28, 9, and 7 on 55, 58, 40, and 85. Yes. Coming in number 5 on the Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee Bucks are pretty good. They're pretty good. Sidney Moncrief averaging 19. Brad Doughty is hurt at the moment, but he's dropping 19 and 11. Coming at number 6 of Philly. Philly is still hanging in there. Philly is still doing what they do. Moses Malone 21 and 9. Julius Erving 23, 5 and 4. And Mo Cheeks 7 and 7. Coming at number 7 is the newest, one of the newer, or one of the newer expansion teams, the Orlando Magic. I told you they would be good, and they're looking just like it. Although Cash is averaging only 14, 9, and 2. His numbers have gone down. I believe he's sharing it with somebody. Nance's averaging 11. Thea's averaging 11. Sleepy Full averaging 13. So they're not really sharing it. Well, Jay. Yeah, Jay's averaging 18, 2 and 5. He's sharing the load with somebody else. So it's hard. And coming in number 8 are the Atlanta Hawks. Even without Shadow, they're still doing their damnedest. Speaking of Shadow, half a game behind his own team. He's dropping 19, 6 and 5, 47, 38, and 85. That actually considers all-star. Those all-star numbers. Surprising he didn't get picked, but probably because their team isn't really doing that well. The worst team is the Bullets, but we are not far behind them, as we are the second worst team in the East. And my numbers went down. I'm dropping 17, 3 and 7, 52, 31, and 76. I'm sharing the low with somebody. Glenn Rice dropping 15 as a rookie. Winston Garland's dropping 22 and 5, and Jeff Rulin dropping 20 and 12. So I have to share the load with two 20-point scorers, so that makes sense. Pacers coming in at number 11. John Stockton 21 and 10. And of course the Detroit Pistons all the way down here. Switching conferences, going to the West. The Seattle Supersonics are the best team in the West. I told you look out for them. And Patrick Ewing 27 and 10, looking like an absolute monster. And I told you, look out for these expansion teams. I told you. The Minnesota Timberwolves in their first season are literally right now the second best team in the West. You love to see it. Kelly dropping 17, Kevin Johnson 19 and 7, Byron Scott off the bench dropping 16. You just love to see it. Coming in number 3 is the three-headed monster known as the LA Clippers. You got the Denanon 18 and 10. You got Ryan Ruger 19 points a game. And you got Max Money, only 9 points and 8 boards. He's sharing the load with two other guys. Actually, maybe make it 3 with Terry, who's dropping 19 and 7. As long as you're doing this job, it's good. Coming up is the Dallas Mavericks coming in at number 4. Rose holding it down 21, 6, and 7. Rose is definitely putting up them numbers. Mark Aguirre, 23 points. Coming at number 5 are the Lakers. I told you, Lakers are going to sneak up. Magic, 23 and 9. And Kareem, numbers are down, 17 and 10. They're going down. They're going down. Coming at number 6 are the Charlotte Hornets. Isaiah Thomas, 22 and 8. Alex English, 22 and 6. Clark Kellogg, only 14 and 7. Phoenix Suns, I thought this team would be a little bit more better, but it's only second half of the season, so they have time to improve. While Tim Hardaway's averaging 18 and 8 as a rookie, Reggie Lewis 19 points. Got Dominique dropping 26, and you got Ghost dropping 18, 8, and 5. So gotta look out for Phoenix. And then coming at number 8 are the Houston Rockets. Michael Jordan is Michael Jordan, still dropping 25 a game, averaging 26 for his career. Utah's on the outside looking in, probably first time in a minute. I think Adrian Danley is hurt, but he is dropping 28 a game for the season. Portland on the outside looking in as well. Clyde definitely getting better, dropping 24 a game. Got Golden State, Scottie Pippen on the outside looking in. He is dropping 22, 7, and 6. Denver on the outside looking in. The Iceman dropping 25. Got Kiki dropping 17 and Worthy dropping 21. The Kings Outside looking in, Mullen dropping 22. And of course, you got the Spurs as the worst team in the West. Mitch Richmond is losing his mind. He's dropping 32 a game, but it's just not enough. Mark Price dropping 20 and 10. I don't know how the hell that ain't enough. I just don't know how that's not enough. These two are going crazy and it's just not enough. That just shows you how everything is. The lottery odds, Detroit looks like they might get the number one pick. Bullets will possibly get second, but they haven't gotten a top three. Have they? No, they got a top three pick the last 4 seasons, but they never got the number one overall pick, which is so weird. Cleveland's slated to get the number four. We'll see how that goes. And now award races. Let's see. We got Malone looking to be the MVP. Has he ever been the MVP? Feel like he has. He has not. He's never been the MVP. This season may be the season. But he does have David Robinson looking over his shoulder and Larry Bird. Let's not forget that. Rookie of the year may go to Zach Kelly, but Tim Hardaway is right right behind him. Six man of the year may go to Jay Humphreys, who actually is the 6 man of the year. That's crazy. Oh wow. Defense player of the year could go to Akeem again. I think yeah, it could go to Akeem again. And Kevin Johnson could get most improved. Only time will tell. Let's finish up the rest of this season. We just start the second half of the season on a 5 game losing streak. You love to see it. And season is wrapped. Karl Malone is the most valuable player. He gets his first MVP. Tim Hardaway is the rookie of the year. Jay Humphrey, 6 man of the year. Akeem Olajuwon gets another defensive player of the year. I believe this is now 5 in a row. He's a 5-time defensive player of the year. All of them 5 in a row. Crazy. Kevin Johnson is most improved, and Jamal Anderson of the Miami Heat, coach of the year at 65 wins. Heat's team is already goated. It's ridiculous. Ayo, the Dunanon is all NBA first team, 19 and 10. Is this his first team? Yep, it's his first team All NBA. He was a 3-time second team All NBA. Now he can add first team NBA to his resume. Michael Jordan, Karl Malone, Larry Bird, David Robinson, the usual suspects in the All NBA first team. All NBA second team. I see Magic Johnson. I see Scottie Pippen, and I see Akeem Olajuwon. I also see Rose, who makes it. Rose is this is his second team All NBA, and he was a former third team All NBA. So now he's on the second All NBA second team. Ghost makes it to All NBA second team. This would be his second. He's a 5-time All NBA player. It's cool to see. All NBA third team, Mitch Richmond, who dropped 31 a game. I don't know how the hell he's All NBA third team. I say it, Thomas, Dominique Wilkins, James Worthy, and Patrick Ewing, all defensive first team. Clyde Drexler, Michael Jordan, Karl Malone, Scottie Pippen, and Akeem Olajuwon, all defensive second team. I see Sidney Moncrief, Scott Chapman, Xavier McDaniel, David Robinson, and Ayo Denon makes another all defensive second team. I believe this is his third. Yep, this is his third. He is a 4-time all defensive, been on 4 all defensive teams. And here we go. All right, let's see his stats. Let's see the NBA standings. See the Miami Heat, best team in the league. They're looking to repeat. Milwaukee comes in at number 2. Chicago third. The Knicks fourth with the MVP. Boston Celtics at 5th. Sixers sixth. Orlando is 7th. And the Nets are 8th. Worst team in the East goes to me. I'm on the worst team again. We lost 11 straight heading into the final game of the season. That's just great. On the West, Seattle Supersonics are the best team in the West. Coming at number 2 are the Timberwolves. Coming at number 3 is Phoenix. Phoenix was, I think, sixth in the first half. They rose up to become third. Clippers are fourth. Charlotte is fifth. The Lakers are sixth. Dallas went all the way down to seventh. And Portland squeezed in. They made it. Worst team in the West is the Spurs. Michael Jordan couldn't make the playoffs. All right, let's get the playoffs started. Game 1. Okay, game 2. Game 3. Seattle advances. They sweep. Seattle advances. They sweep. The three-headed monster couldn't beat Charlotte. That's actually sad to see. Ruger only 18, 3-3 in the playoffs. Max 12-6 in the playoffs. And the Dawn 17-12 in the playoffs. Just not enough to beat the Charlotte Hornets with Isaiah Thomas leading the helm. The Suns beat the Lakers, so the Lakers lose in the first round. Ghost stepping his game up 23-6-5, 50-97. You love to see it. Dominique Wilkins only 19 points, but it's all good because they're getting it done the best way they know how. And the Timberwolves sweep the Mavericks. Rose's numbers went down a little bit, but I mean they went down. And Mark Aguirre went up, but just not enough to beat this team, Timberwolves. I don't know. I just don't know. Over here, the defending NBA champions lost in the first round. They lost to the 8th-seeded Nets. That means Shadow helped upset. He had a horrible game 4, by the way. 3 of 21. That was bad. But they did beat the Miami Heat. Blocks didn't really come to play in the first round. What a shocker. The Knicks beat the Celtics. Larry Bird doing Larry Bird things, but it just wasn't enough. Bernard King stepping his game up. And they didn't even have the MVP. The MVP is hurt. So that's surprising. Chicago sweeps Philly, and Orlando loses in the first round to Milwaukee. All right. Let's move on. And Seattle and Phoenix able to advance. The Knicks sweep the Nets. And the Bucks beat the Bulls. Wow. Oh yeah, didn't I say look out for Phoenix? I said look out for Phoenix. I wasn't lying. The Knicks sweep the Nets. Karl Malone still isn't back, but they hope to have him in the conference finals. We'll just see how everything goes. All right, conference finals time. Game 1, game 2, game 3. And the Sonics able to beat the Suns. The Sonics are in the finals, as well as the Bucks. So none of us made it to the finals. Instead, it's going to be Brad Daugherty versus Pat Ewing. Let's get it. I should just simulate the whole round. And the Seattle Supersonics win the NBA title. Patrick Ewing, finals MVP. You love to see it. 1990. Let's just see how it goes. Let's get it.